In this video, we'll rank the top 10 strongest countries of World War II, based on their military might, industrial power, and strategic impact on the war. Who held the line when all seemed lost, and who turned the tide to claim ultimate victory? Let's dive in and find out. Number 10. Italy. Strengths. As a member of the Axis powers, Italy initially had a sizable army and navy. The country was involved in campaigns across North Africa and the Balkans. Weaknesses. Italy struggled with outdated equipment and poor strategic leadership under Mussolini. By 1943, after heavy losses, Italy switched sides to join the Allies. Number 9. Canada. Strengths. Despite its smaller population, Canada played a significant role, particularly in the Battle of the Atlantic and the D-Day landings. It provided critical support to Britain with troops, ships, and supplies. Weaknesses. Canada lacked the military size and resources of larger nations, but its well-trained forces had a significant impact on key Allied operations. Number 8. China, Republic of China. Strengths. China fought Japan alone for 4 years before the wider war began. Chinese forces tied down a large number of Japanese troops, preventing them from being redeployed elsewhere. Weaknesses. The Chinese military was plagued by internal division between nationalists and communists, leading to inefficiencies. China also suffered from outdated equipment and limited resources. Number 7. Japan. Strengths. Japan had a powerful navy, skilled air force, and demonstrated rapid successes early in the war with invasions throughout Asia and the Pacific. Its surprise attack on Pearl Harbor was a significant early blow to the United States. Weaknesses. Japan's industrial base was much smaller than the Allies, making it difficult to sustain prolonged warfare. The country's lack of resources, especially oil, led to eventual defeat. Number 6. France. Strengths. Prior to its defeat in 1940, France had one of the largest armies in Europe and a sophisticated defensive strategy with the Maginot Line. Weaknesses. The German blitzkrieg quickly overwhelmed France, leading to occupation. However, the Free French forces under Charles de Gaulle continued to fight alongside the Allies for the remainder of the war. Number 5. Italy, after 1943, and Axis collaborators. Strengths. Following Italy's surrender in 1943, Germany still received support from smaller Axis collaborators like Romania, Hungary, and Finland, which contributed significantly on the Eastern Front. Weaknesses. The disintegration of the Axis alliance weakened Germany's overall capabilities and left it increasingly isolated as the war dragged on. Number 4. United Kingdom. Strengths. The UK maintained naval superiority with the Royal Navy controlling sea routes and preventing German invasion. The country's resilience during the Battle of Britain was a turning point in the war. Weaknesses. Despite facing the threat of invasion, the UK's colonial empire provided substantial manpower, supplies, and strategic bases, ensuring it could continue the fight. Number 3. Germany. Nazi Germany. Strengths. At the start of the war, Germany's military was unmatched in terms of tactics and technology, with the Blitzkrieg strategy delivering swift victories. The German Wehrmacht and Luftwaffe were among the most powerful forces in the world. Weaknesses. Germany struggled with a lack of resources as the war dragged on, especially on the Eastern Front. It was ultimately overstretched, fighting on multiple fronts against the Soviet Union, the Western Allies, and resistance movements. Number 2. Soviet Union, USSR. Strengths. The Soviet Union's vast manpower and industrial capacity were decisive in defeating Nazi Germany. The Battle of Stalingrad and the Eastern Front were turning points, where the USSR inflicted massive casualties on German forces. Weaknesses. The Soviet Union initially suffered from purges that weakened its military leadership. However, it recovered and mobilized its enormous resources to achieve total war production levels that rivaled the United States. Number 1. United States. Strengths. The U.S. had unmatched industrial production, which allowed it to supply not only its own military but also the Allies through the Lend-Lease program. The U.S. Navy and Air Force were critical in the Pacific theater, and American forces played a decisive role in Western Europe, especially after D-Day. Weaknesses. entered the war late but quickly became the most significant contributor to the Allied victory. Its vast resources and technological advancements, like the atomic bomb, ultimately sealed the Axis defeat. While each of these countries had unique strengths and weaknesses, the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as the two dominant powers by the end of World War II, fundamentally shaping the post-war world order. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching our countdown. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.